Hello everyone, welcome to the latest edition of the On Trend podcast based on the Salesfire fantastic dynamic tool TrendDesk, which gives you all the latest up-to-date stats on e-commerce trends and all sorts of kit and caboodle like that. So, my name's James Lees, I'm the host of this podcast, also head of client service at Salesfire. I'm joined today by my ever-present, long-established friend of the e-commerce industry, Josh McGregor, head of marketing at Salesfire. Josh, how the hell are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
If I had a hat, Josh, I'd throw it in the air. I'm excited for this episode. I really am.
Ever present makes me feel like I'm not wanted.
Please don't take it that way because you are wanted. It's
Okay.
like I'd probably refer to you as like me security blanket. Like,
Like
you're
a
there
space blanket.
because you make me feel good. I feel
That's
safe
nice.
when you're around.
Thank you.
If somebody else is sat there, I'm uneasy.
Oh, wow.
I don't feel comfortable.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Also joined by one of my superstar Strathuns, part of the managed service crew we have here at Salesfire. It's Emily Corner, client strategy manager at Salesfire. Emily Corner, how are you?
I'm very well. Lovely
Good.
day.
It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day. And a lovely living room you sat in there as well.
Thank you very
That
much.
is a
I
nice
do have
living room.
excellent taste.
You really do.
Yes, you
As
do.
well as being very modest as well. May I just add, but yeah, cracking living room decor there, nice array of pictures, nice copper lighting. There's no traditional furniture, so it's always good to see. Because, you can go for the generic bookcase in the background with some books that you'll never read, but you haven't, and I like it. So keep up the good work on that one, Emily.
Or a fake Zoom background.
Or a fake Zoom background. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Q2 trends. Okay, so we're fast approaching Q2 in what is going to be another topsy-turvy year in comparison to 2020 and 2019. There's going to be a lot of perhaps unreal expectation and things like that. There's going to be a lot of key dates and trends to discuss. What I have in front of here is something Emily is project managed on behalf of Salesfire, is our Q2 strategy proposal for 2021, which goes out to all our managed service clients where we discuss potential campaigns to run for them. But also, what I think is really cool about this doc that the guys put together is they can use it for Salesfire, of course, and we'll create campaigns for them based on that. But also they can use it for their e-commerce business as a whole.
Yeah.
So it gives them lots of key dates, trends, and things like that. So I want to do through here, Emily, I want to go through the highlights, really.
Yeah.
Discuss that, some of the key points that you and the guys have put together. Get your thoughts and opinions on it. Then me and Josh can chip in with a few little bits and bobs around that.
Sounds good to me.
That sound good?
It sounds great.
Right. Well, let's turn over the pages.
Oh, wow.
Ta-da-da-da. Right. There's another thing here I think is going to be vitally important when it comes into 2021. It's understanding retention, because e-commerce, you could potentially get a little bit complacent and lazy in regards to thinking, I've had all this business over the last 12 months. It's worked out well for me. But as the high street starts to open, retention, you're going to have to work hard for that retention, aren't you, Emily?
Yeah, it's what we've seen over the past year or so. We've seen like a massive influx of people now shopping online. So what we are wanting to do, especially since the shops are hopefully going to be reopening very soon, we want to keep them people. So we basically want to get across to our clients, look after your current customer base, because that is going to be the most cost-effective method of retaining business. We already know that it costs so much more to get new business compared to retaining current customers. So it's just an easy win to keep them people on board.
Yeah, because there is that excitement of people wanting to get back out and start spending in the real world as well, isn't there? That is going to be a very real factor in all this.
There is, and I think it's a potential danger for e-commerce that if you do get complacent with client retention and retaining them customers on an ongoing basis. But there's some cool stats that were put in the doc here. So the probability of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%. While the probability of selling to a new prospect is 5 to 20%.
So is that a customer who's landed on
This is landed on your website.
return
On your
yeah.
website. Existing customers are 50% more likely to try new products and spend 31% more when compared to new customers. But what you need to do is educate the customer and give them a reason to come back. I think that's the important thing here, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah. So when we're talking about people coming back and we're talking about the retention side of things, are we seeing people sort of putting campaigns together already for people going back to the shops and trying to get, with their email and things like that? Are people starting to gear up for that? Are we seeing any clients doing that?
Yeah, definitely, especially our clients who do have bricks and mortar stores. It's something that it's a bit of a celebration, really. Like, we've been having a topsy-turvy year for for 2020, and now it's a bit of like relief, really.
Yeah.
It's an event now to reopen the store and welcome customers back in.
What are people who haven't got the bricks and mortar doing? Are we seeing what type of campaigns those guys are putting together yet?
So it's basically we're trying to get across the message to their current customer base to stay online and the benefits of that. So basically convenience, having things delivered to your home or sent elsewhere. And we're trying to reinforce them points.
Okay. So like when you're talking about delivery and we're talking about those types of things. Makes sense.
I think it does make sense. I think we're going to see some interesting campaigns and strategies from, I think that the bigger players, I'm starting to see marketing collateral go out from them, but also from our core clients, start seeing them work harder towards like return these clients. But it's going to be an interesting time. The next point you guys have put together here, Emily, is adaptability.
Yes.
I think that kind of comes onto the whole kind of retention side of things as well, isn't it? And like, the importance is, e-commerce has had to adapt and switch massively over the last 12 months. I think it's going to have to do that again over the next 12 months, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We've got these dates now in place when things are meant to be reopening, when the restrictions are meant to be easing. But again, they're not set in stone.
Yeah.
So we're working towards these dates. So we're encouraging our customers to create campaigns around them, have things prepared ahead of time. So then if things do get delayed, we can quickly change things and be like flexible and adaptable with our approach with that.
Yeah, that flexibility is something that we've talked about quite a lot, isn't it? It's one of those things where I think after a certain date, it turns to, instead of it being a solid date for something reopen, it's not before this date, isn't it? Or not before that. I think with the Brexit stuff as well, we saw people a bit more of a wobble than I thought we'd see when it came to January and February. Things looked like there were some dips in certain places.
All right, okay.
When people were just getting their heads around sort of the new paperwork and the new way things are doing, like it was so late on when they finally announced everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are a bit wary of that.
Yeah.
And like Emily said there, like making sure that they're going to be flexible with what they're doing and make sure those campaigns can be stripped apart again so you can reuse them, or making sure those campaigns, you can put a pause on them and get them going out at a different time.
So do you think long-term planning for a retailer now is something not as important as it once was 2-3 years ago?
What do you think? It's a bit like everything's a bit being able to be a bit more reactive now is a bit more important.
Yeah, like does the modern day e-commerce retail have to be more agile than it once was?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, look at like Emily said there, we've got dates here which are pretty significant in terms of getting things back to normal that we don't know for sure if they're in stone.
Yeah, we know something could happen based on the last 12 months. So we're learning.
Yeah, if you're getting a campaign together 6 weeks in advance, and then the night before there's a press conference and that's not happening as you thought it was going to be, you're going to have something else ready to go out.
Yeah, agreed.
It's putting a lot of pressure on people.
Oh, yeah, and so like Emily and her team, they know that at the drop of a hat, everything they've done over the last few weeks could be worth diddly squat, and they have to change things quickly. But no, it's not just us. There's marketing agencies, e-commerce agencies, like
in-house teams and stuff.
In-house teams, like that agility and adaptability is massively important now. And I think you've got to be part of the solution, not the problem with these things. And for us, I think we've handled it quite well.
Yeah.
But I would say that heading the client to Farmer at Salesfire, but I think we have.
How have you sort of been advising people to get ready for that?
So just discussing plans with us ahead of time if they've got anything set in stone that they want to do over the next quarter. And then we can basically build the campaigns around it, have things done ahead of time, so then we can make changes if needed.
All right, okay. So are you getting like more than one campaign set up, for instance, and then just getting ready to fire, pull the trigger on a certain thing as and when?
What we encourage our clients to do from the quarterly calls is we'll discuss what we're doing for the next 3 months.
Oh, okay.
So we are putting plans in place, but it's not too rigid and too ahead of time. So the next 3 months is like an ideal time frame to get things planned in advance.
Yeah.
Without having to like totally change things if things do go wrong or dates change. It's just so we have some sort of guideline for the next 3 months, and then we can implement any ad hoc things or any changes quickly.
Yeah, it's cool that we're handling the change. I didn't realise we were also doing that ad hoc stuff as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
We're good, you know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, good. Okay, I want to go to the next kind of. So Josh kind of put in here in regards to planning for key dates and things like that. So when we go through the key dates and trends, we've got two, I'd say, variables here. We've got the ones that are set in stone because no one's changing their date of Easter based on coronavirus.
That's true.
But there are a few. So I want to go through. We'll go through a few of the kind of like important ones. One I've never really, as a marketeer and digital marketing for longer than I care to think of. 1st of April, April Fool's Day. There's very few campaigns I've done around that MO. Now, have you had any kind of client requests about this? Like April Fool's Day is going to be important. You're going to do some fake campaigns. I'm like, I say no. This voucher's going to give you 99% off, but really it's only going to give them 10.
That's tough. That one.
We should do that for the crack actually.
It's hilarious.
I have actually got one in the works with one of my clients, but I don't want to say too much because it's going to ruin the surprise.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay. Well, we won't.
That
Then, will
makes
we?
sense.
But there's going to be a surprise. Are we allowed to say the client, Emily?
We can always beep it.
It's a.
Ah, okay.
All right.
So if
okay.
you hear a beep there, by the way, everyone, it means that we can't tell you
Yeah.
what it is. But I mean, it might be fun to have a look.
Okay. Easter. That's not going to set in stone. We can't change the day Jesus died. Or risen,
Well,
risen. So, but we have got the
doesn't
whole
Easter,
weekend.
Easter changes every year, though, doesn't it?
I
The
know,
dates?
Emily, but let's play the game again.
Okay, all right, sorry.
we all know, but no, let's play the game.
Oh.
So Easter's not changing this year. Let's say that though. Boris could change his mind for the crack.
He could, yeah.
If he
But-
wanted to, he absolutely could.
Who knows now?
Let's hope he doesn't, eh?
It's what we've seen
Jesus.
with Easter over the past couple of years. It's becoming like the spring Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like
right.
a massive event.
Okay.
You don't just get an Easter egg anymore, do you? Kids are getting
No.
outfits, PlayStations,
No, that
all
is true.
sorts.
Yeah, that is very true. I
We
didn't
have
even think
big
about that.
feast dinners. So
That's just every
it's-
day in my house, that'll be fair. Like. Don't miss many a meal.
So what type of campaigns are we seeing for Easter then? If it's got that Christmas vibe to it?
So Easter will have a lot of sales.
Right, okay.
So sales events around Easter, as well as with other clients. So if we've got like sort of food and wine, spirits, that sort of thing, people getting them in advance for Easter.
Yeah.
Just a lot of things in preparation for the celebration of it's a 4-day event now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose,
pretty
I
much.
mean, will the shops be open at that point?
Yeah. No, hang on. No, they
No.
won't. No.
Still
No.
won't be open.
That's from the
early.
next day. Yeah.
So that's going to be, that's probably going to be huge again, isn't it?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be weather pending. I think we're going to smell a lot of barbecues.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big one. I didn't realise it was picked up on quite that big.
Yeah. Well, I go back to my days at school. I actually think I was a scruffy kid at school because I got an Easter egg from my parents, and then kids are coming out with new PlayStation games and that.
I didn't know that. I need to have a word with my parents.
Maybe, yeah. I think you should keep in touch.
You've opened some old wounds here. Can we move
Sorry,
on?
man, yeah. Right, next one, Emily. We have World Health Day. Talk to me about World Health Day.
So World Health Day is going to be significant with being in the pandemic. So
What's World Health Day? If you don't mind me asking.
World Health Day.
What are we celebrating? Just
health,
being
man.
mindful
Just
of your health,
health.
and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good day.
Just look after yourself, bro.
All right.
But again, it's one of them events that can be tied into a lot of things. So if we've got health and beauty retailers, if we've got
Okay.
people who sell supplements, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
it's all like relevant for them particular clients.
For those niches, it's one of those things where
Yeah.
if you're not in that niche or you're not sort of always shopping around there, you're not aware of a lot of these, are you as well?
Well, that's it. Can you think of a footwear retailer?
Mhm.
Like, got a campaign for World Health Day. Look after your feet and that.
Yeah, that's true.
Wear sandals in the summer, otherwise your feet will get sweaty. Hashtag World Health Day. Like, it's not really going to be a thing, is it?
No, it's good for inspiring more like diversity in your campaigns and stuff, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think it's a big thing. So we're going to go to the next one, Emily. It's the 12th of April.
Yeah.
Lifting of restrictions, non-essential retail to open. So this is where we come
12th,
back in
yeah.
regards to retailers.
Yeah.
Click and
So
collect from e-commerce support or driving traffic to their bricks and mortar store.
yeah, if we've got clients who have a brick and mortar store, then it's a great opportunity to let their customers know they are back open.
Mhm.
So it could be the case that they've had to furlough staff over the past year, so there might be less people on the shop floor. They might have reduced opening hours, so it's just letting their customers know through the website of these changes that they are back open, but it might be slightly different experience in store.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a tricky balance to get that, isn't it, between sort of diverting people away from your online your online offering back to your store. There's a bit of a gap there, isn't there, where you don't want to be losing out to other sort of competitors when it comes to
it's going to be a crazy time, to be honest. I'm going to enjoy monitoring it and just viewing, see how it goes and see how it reacts, and also keep an eye on TrendDesk, see what initial impact that has in e-commerce. I dare say it'll probably it's definitely going to be down based on last year.
Well, it's going to. I mean,
because April last year there was no shops open.
Yeah.
So e-commerce, I think it was May last year, e-commerce was up 81% based on the previous year.
That's crazy.
It's mental when you think of it. So you can't say April's going to be as big, but it's going to see where the people who think on their feet, and we touched on that agility and adaptability earlier, the retailers that do that are the ones that are going to come out of this well.
I think we've seen that actually across both the lockdowns as well when it comes to people diverting marketing spend, diverting resource, that type of thing. The people who've remained the most flexible and the most agile in sort of the decision making and things have been the ones we've seen do better, pull out with this with a bit more strength.
Agreed.
It's definitely going to be interesting.
Next one I really want to have a touch on because I've not heard of this one before. Earth Day.
Oh, I've heard of this one.
Oh, wow. You don't strike me as an Earth Day kind of guy.
Well, I am.
Right, okay. What's Earth Day then, Josh?
Is this the one where people were turning the lights off?
Yeah, it's sort of it's awareness towards sustainability and looking after.
That's what I meant.
Planet Earth.
Not just turning your lights
I've got a car boat full of bags for life. I look after the planet.
Well, that's an excellent start, isn't it? All got to do a bit.
Baby steps. Yeah. What type of campaigns are you putting together for people? Are you seeing people request many?
So none of my clients personally, but I know that we do have within the team people who this is relevant for. So it could be if they've got any sustainable product lines, if they're doing something as a company to promote sustainability, if they've got some sort of initiative with green packaging, that sort of thing. It's just an opportunity to mention this sort of thing on this event.
Yeah, I think carbon neutrality has been a big one as well. People making quite a big effort to sort of not eradicate the footprint, but at least sort of balance it out a little bit. I've seen quite a bit of that coming through recently.
Well, it's a reason to buy it now, isn't it?
Oh, completely.
It's a reason. You will look on, we discussed it on early podcasts in regards to the ethics of some retailers, and I think your carbon footprint it's a reason a lot of people will buy from some because of their ethics, and Earth Day is going to be a reason to do that as well.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
Right, we've got a couple of bank holidays in May.
Yeah.
Similar things to Easter bank holiday, we're thinking on them ones, Emily?
Yeah, it's bank holidays are always traditionally when people have a barbecue in the garden, they get the garden ready for having people around, and with the lifting of restrictions, they should be allowed to have a few more people in the garden from, is it more than one household? So again, we'll see it's more of a celebration events for these two bank holidays, weather permitting.
That's an interesting one. That we are going to see some people getting out and spending for that. It's the first time people are going to be seeing houses and things like that people have been working on for the past year, that type of thing. Yeah,
because those restrictions lifting in May. Are this when hospitality reopens fully, but not with restrictions within the hospitality? Am I right in thinking that?
Is that then? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think beer gardens open up in April. Excuse me. Then we're looking at the other restrictions being lifted, and then obviously the ones come June, but. It's kind of like, as a country, this brings us back to where we were last summer, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's that thing as well where we're talking about people going back out of the bricks and mortars, but after that initial Saturday when everyone's got out of the system, the sheer convenience of how people are buying now and the leaps that some retailers have made in sort of making their offering so much better, I think, bar a few weekends, apart from the people going out with the Primarks and the basics, things like that, things are going to stay steady. They're going to keep growing, let's be honest.
Yeah. Then we're going to hit June. Now, June's usually a bit of a sale month. So, especially in fashion, they start selling a lot of the sales, like the end of stock for the spring, summer, because a lot of people have done a lot of new season lands March, April. sell that March, April, May, June comes to, start to get the sales season comes in. But obviously we've got the end of the month we'll talk further about in regard to social distancing and whatnot is gone.
Yeah.
But we've got Pride Month for June.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Like, on a marketing point of view, it's huge.
Definitely.
On ethic point of view, it's huge. Do we foresee anything happen client-wise for Pride Month family, do you think?
Again, yeah, I've already got a client who has got a Pride campaign in for June.
Wow.
Okay.
So that will be a month-long campaign. And again, it's a...
Oh, nice.
So
we have got a bleep there just in case.
Potential.
Well, if I carry on talking, it's going to be quite obvious who they are.
It might be some long bleeps.
They've got a rainbow product line. So
that's
cool.
going to be in promotion for the month of June.
You know what?
Oh, that's awesome.
Seriously, that will sell a lot for them. I think that's
crazy.
a great product idea. I really do. Fair play to them. That's a cracking idea. Father's Day. So myself and Josh as young, well, you're younger than me. Fathers.
Cool dads.
Cool dads, yeah. Down and with it.
With it.
This is when you can be expecting all your children to be going online and buying you lovely presents.
I have a job, mate. This is 2 man's 3. Yeah. Father's Day last year was a lockdown one. I think I can't remember what I did Father's Day last year. What did you do?
I think it was, do you know what? We got one of those like subscription box type things. It's got some food.
Yeah.
Do you know, from it was a local Italian, I think.
All right, okay.
It's that type of thing, isn't it? Are we going to see the end of that type of thing, or do you reckon it's still going to be going strong?
Father's Day is the day before national restrictions lift.
Yeah.
The day before.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
It might be a case then that people are just ordering things online to get sent to the dads in preparation.
That's probably it. Like a day of normalcy before everyone goes mental.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So that's kind of how that one. I'm planning on going on holiday the day after.
On the 21st.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that for any particular reason? Was it a better deal or?
We were due to go on the 5th of June.
Okay.
Abroad, so we cancelled it.
Yeah.
And we're having a staycation 21st of June.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's the plan. But anyway, that's not that anyone cares what I'm doing for the summer.
No, you're out your house.
Those are kind of the key dates there. If there's one kind of key date during this quarter, obviously we've got change of season stock and stuff like that. What one do you think is going to have the most impact on a positive or negative side when it comes to e-commerce this quarter, Emily?
I think it's going to be the 21st of June. So the day that is meant to be the lifting of all restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it is on schedule and we can, get to that date, if things go to plan, like it will be fantastic, and it's going to be a massive case of celebration, like across the country.
That'd be awesome, that wouldn't it? Every planned campaign all goes out on the week before, perfect. Everything lands. Everyone's back out on the 21st.
Yeah.
Be amazing.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Like European Championships are on then, so we've got to think of key thing like potential campaigns for that.
That's true, yeah.
Obviously, we've had football since June last year. Came back and lots of crowds potentially going. People are going to be going to pubs to watch football again.
Yeah.
There's all these new. When I say new things, what we used to take for granted back in the day. There's a lot to happen, and e-commerce is potentially to go through a very, very bumpy, potentially testing time.
Yeah.
But it's all I will say, and again, the absolute shameless plug. Keep an eye on TrendDesk. It gives you the data's there, bang on.
Especially the benchmarking.
Yeah. You need to know what success looks like for yourself, because these are, to quote Mr. Johnson, unprecedented times, and they are like we can't compare this year to last year. We can't compare this year to 2019. The only time we're going to have a look at this is probably when we compare 2022 to 2019, some kind of relative normality.
Yeah.
So when you, like Josh mentioned there, benchmarking is going to be huge importance. So you need to know what other people, how are they performing in your niche.
Yeah.
Because if you think things are down, if other people are down as well, right, okay, I know it's not me.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's sanity checking, isn't it?
And do you know what? I think that's what a lot of people have always struggled with, and it's also what's let a lot of these sort of less than desirable agencies flourish a little bit, because people haven't got eyes on that data and how other people are performing. So when you're going in a bit blind and someone's selling you the world, you've got nothing to fall back on.
You'll do anything if it's your business. You're like,
of course,
panic set in. Like, Jesus Christ, I know things are poor at the moment. if you're going to help me, here's my hard-earned money, and then nothing happens.
Do you know what else, on a selfish note as well, I can't wait for this all to be lifted so we never have to talk about that again on this podcast.
Yeah.
If I never talk about the pandemic or lockdown ever again, I'll be over the moon.
I'm sorry, mate, but we're going to be talking about this for years to come. Oh, do you remember back in 2020 and 2021 when COVID was hitting and e-commerce was doing this and that? It's going to be something to refer to.
We have dined out on a bit, quite a bit as well, haven't we, to be fair?
Well, yeah, us and others.
Yeah, it's true.
We're not the only ones dying out on it, but I think dying out's probably the wrong, but we're not celebrating the fact by any stretch of imagination.
Not celebrating, you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah. Right. Well, I think we've got some cracking bits there, to be honest. Emily, I just want to say a huge thanks for
thank you so much
for coming on the podcast, but also for your hard work in creating this Q2 pod for our clients as well. I've said it in our strategy meeting this morning, and to you and your guys, well, Emily, like your hard work's not going to notice, and the quality of product you're putting out for us here is superb. So well done. And any of our clients listen to this, and you start seeing your Q2 strategy docs come in, embrace it. It's not going to be something you can read over in 5 minutes, but it's worth your time. I
think that's why it's worth it to a lot of people, because it goes into such depth with stuff. Do you know it's probably a good idea to get a bit of a abridged version of one of them that we can show to potential clients as well, because I think if people knew what they were going to be getting, there'd be a lot. We'd have people banging on our door.
Yeah, I think so. So thanks, Emily, and thank you as well, Josh. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing this podcast with you again. And I look forward to our next time together.
Me too.
Good. Thanks, everyone. Again, for that sanity checking for yourself, please do visit salesfire.co.uk/trend-desk. I've been James Lees. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.